I never know what's the first word that do we say hello or like I
I
guess we
I don't
end
think-
with goodbye.
I don't
so-
think I've been consistent anytime I've started off. So you can use whatever word you want.
Well, hello. Welcome to the Two Pieces podcast. I am Luke and this is Siobhan. This week there's so many things. There's so many exciting things on the list for this.
You
week.
guys,
You guys don't even
not
know.
ready. Not
you don't
ready.
even know.
I hope we're seated.
we we mentioned at the end of the last episode that we had my wife's 30th birthday that upcoming weekend, which has now passed, and that has now happened, and we did indeed celebrate my wife's 30th birthday this past weekend. I think it was a success.
I agree. It was very, very fun.
So we wanted to do a Japanese izakaya theme, and we did. We kind of set up a whole, I guess, karaoke bar in our kitchen. I set up these like bar tables and everything, which it was squishy and packed in there, but I guess that's the vibe.
Feeling. What's that street in is it Tokyo?
Yeah, Golden Guy.
Golden Guy? It was
Yeah.
like a bar in there, super small and cramped, and you can only fit like 5 to 6 people in there, really.
Yeah.
It was really Golden Guy vibes.
Yeah. And we had like the little wireless like microphones to pass around, did some karaoke. And we were really trying to like fit the vibe there. And I had specific confirmation at one point when I served the highball to our Japanese friend who just recently moved here. And he took a sip and he looked around and he said, now I feel like I'm back in Japan. And I was like, yeah.
You nailed it. Yeah, I mean, like the setup was pretty elite. You put a lot of effort into setting the bar up. Like Luke's gone out and bought, I'm guessing planks. Just planks of wood, and like just gone and set these like benches up and like seats everywhere in like a sort of L shape around the kitchen, and like people were sitting around there. It was pretty well set up.
The planks are actually offcuts of my desk.
Oh,
if you
really?
notice,
Oh,
it's like the same.
really?
I
didn't know that.
Because I have so many offcuts of my desk because I've been on this like, I don't know, multi-year long journey of downsizing my desk.
Oh, really?
Because I started off with this giant 2 meter long, I don't know how deep it was. And every time I cut my desk down, I don't regret it. Because when I was younger, I always wanted the biggest desk possible.
Yeah.
And I realized that it would just accumulate so much stuff. Even right now, there's stuff on my tiny little desk. But I noticed that if I just make it as small as I possibly can, then I can't fit too much junk on it. So it kind of keeps it.
I'm like the opposite now. Like I've only like just recently bought a computer. And I've had the same desk like for years and years and years. The same desk I had in high school that I would study on.
Yeah.
And now that I have a PC and 2 monitors, I'm looking at this desk like it's just like this doesn't really work. And I need a bigger desk to like have more comfort in general. And also like, if I do have like a glass of water or like a drink or food on the desk, it's like so hard to maneuver around this desk, and I want a bigger desk. But I also maybe like looking at your desk, which the audience can't see, you have a single giant monitor. So maybe that is the strat to like keep yourself uncluttered, just to have one monitor that's really, really big. That way you don't take up too much real estate. Yeah,
I've had the one monitor for a long time, and I've kind of sworn by it every time I think about changing it to a different setup. I always kind of go, but isn't it just like it's a 40-inch thing? And so I'm like, isn't it just equivalent to just 4 smaller monitors that are all just there? Because when you use a monitor that big, you don't full screen everything. You actually like window things down. So like each individual window is kind of like its own monitor in a way. But maybe for streaming, it is hard. For streaming, because you need to see so many things when you're streaming. And so I always end up like with these tiny little windows just everywhere spread out across my one monitor. Right. For that, I wouldn't mind a second monitor, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's not something I've ever thought about or understand. What actually goes into like when you're going to stream? Like what do you have to set up? What are you doing?
So many things. So obviously like my OBS,
Which means
that's the software that you stream from.
Okay.
It's also the software that's right there that we're looking at.
Right,
that's what I use for recording. It's the software you stream from. Then you have your, I guess for me, I would have my browser, which is what I'm actually like reacting to. And then I would have separate windows for Twitch chat and YouTube chat. I would have another window for Twitch alerts and another window for managing my YouTube live stream to see if everything's working there. Another window for managing my Twitch live stream and another window for my bingo board. And I need to fit all of that on one screen.
I mean, your screen's massive, so I'm sure you can do it. But yeah, that's a lot to juggle.
Yeah.
I feel like with 2 screens, compartmentalizing it makes like it's easier for me to visualize because like you can keep all of like the sort of like chat related stuff on one screen and then window them and then all the other like stream related stuff on the other. But yeah, wow, that's a lot. I didn't really know you had to do all that stuff.
I battle with it because it doesn't all really fit. So things kind of overlap a little bit. And so there's usually something behind another window that I've got to kind of jostle around, but it kind of works. And
especially with the bingo board being there, you have to, that's kind of big, I guess, because like the audience sees it.
Yeah. Right? The bingo board.
The bingo board's live?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like an overlay?
It's just an Excel spreadsheet.
Oh, okay, right. It's nice and simple.
Because I've been the first time I did bingo was so many years ago, and I remember going through all the different like online things, and do you know, like I don't know why it's so hard to find a good bingo like website that doesn't charge you money.
Oh, okay.
You would think it's just so simple. It's just squares, and you just cross them off. And there's this one that everyone uses, but I don't know. None of it ever worked that well for me. And I'm just I'm a huge Google Sheets guy. I love Google Sheets or Excel or whatever.
Yeah.
I love spreadsheets. Spreadsheets for absolutely everything. And so I'm like, I can do this in
yeah, I can imagine. You just like put shapes in and then fill cell and then
exactly.
Yeah, just get it going. Yeah, easy.
Because people always ask me, what bingo software do you use? I'm like, Google Sheets.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. How'd you get the idea for doing bingo for like the first time?
That's a good question. People probably assume I copied Jarvis Johnson, who was doing Darman bingo.
Okay, I don't know who. I've heard of Darman, but I don't know who Jarvis is.
He's a commentary YouTuber. He also has like a live channel where he does a lot more reaction stuff. And he did Darman bingo. I don't know if that's where I got the idea. I don't even remember anymore. It was so many. You know what it actually probably was, now that I'm thinking about it? I don't think it was that I was like scrolling his channel and being like, what idea can I steal? I think someone was like in my chat, they're like, oh, because I was watching Darman at the time, and they're like, oh, you should do bingo. Because Jarvis was doing it.
Right.
And so people were like, oh, Jarvis did it, you should try it. And I was okay. And so I gave it a go back then. I don't know whether it was Darman. I don't know. I don't remember. And then just more recently, it became more of a thing. So like my first bingo videos were years ago, but then I got more into it. When I decided to do bingo squared, that's when it all changed.
Oh, yeah. When you like added your own layer to it. How's Darman now?
Well,
have you checked in on him?
Well, there was like a scandal some years ago where all of his actors were like striking because he was underpaying them and all this kind of stuff. And so
I don't really know that much about him other than it was just was he the fake prank channel? No, okay, then maybe I don't know what Darman is.
He does like
I don't know if you're gonna get into like some like massive gotcha life level rabbit hole here, but
he just you would have seen his videos. He does like very like I don't know, videos for Facebook mums or something. It's like these very shallow like feel good message videos, and they're these like skits. They're these planned stories where the bad guy, I don't know, like a bully bullies another kid for being into anime, and then the bully gets what he deserves. Bully lives to regret it. and it's just like this,
It's just
like
that.
yeah, it's this
I can
really
see why bingo would work. There.
Yeah,
if like
'cause
the storylines can't be that sophisticated,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you can probably predict it.
they're really basic, and they're also like they're supposed to like teach you messages, but the takeaways are so generic, and so like the acting and the writing is so like just unrealistic and basic,
Yeah,
and good guy
I
always
think-
win kind of story that
I
it's just
think I can imagine. No, I don't think I've actually seen any of his videos. I think I've heard of him because of this is ages ago. I feel like I saw memes on Facebook about him
yeah.
because like that's when I remember like, oh, I've heard this name before, but I don't think I've like come across his content.
It is genuinely like its content, like it did so well for so many reaction channels because it's content that is so much better through the lens of someone making fun of it.
Okay.
Like then it's actually funny. But if you're just watching it
Like legitimately,
just straight up,
yeah.
it's just
unless maybe you were with like a group of friends like watching
yeah.
it. You could make anything funny that way. I remember like back in high school, Luke and Alex, after we'd like finished playing Xbox or whatever, we'd go like, oh yeah, let's go to sleep or whatever. Chuck the TV on just before we go to bed, and what's usually on at like 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. is like infomercials, like Guti Renka infomercials. And we would genuinely watch them for hours just making fun of the infomercials. Just between us. So I can imagine doing that for like an audience live on Twitch would be pretty funny because you can feed off like the reactions that even the Twitch chat is having because they're probably pretty funny as well, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that was, and it was just a goldmine because he was producing so much content. Like it was so much content. And like, at that time, I wasn't even really doing bingo videos of it. I was just reacting to him. Yeah, when he had that kind of scandal where it came out that he wasn't paying his actors like a livable wage and all this kind of stuff, then I guess collectively the reaction community kind of decided to drop him.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And then like you kind of check in every now and then. Like every now and then you do your little update video. Where's Darman now?
What's he
up to?
Is he okay?
So I've done a couple. I also did a video a few years back. He started a Roblox version of his channel. Where it's the same stories but just with Roblox actors.
Okay.
And at the time, I decided it was going to be a good idea. This was probably last year sometime. I decided it was a good idea to go through and make one video where I react to every single one. Every single video.
In one video.
Yeah, which I think it ended up being like 8.5 hours or something.
You were just sitting here for 8 hours.
I didn't film it in one go. I think
okay.
I filmed it in maybe 3 or 4.
Oh my god. What was Jade doing that whole time? You were just sitting here watching Roblox videos.
She helped me edit those ones.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. That was
Wow.
yeah, but I feel like I've kind of blanked it out. I don't remember too much about that. It was like, I'm bummed. I should have done it like 6 months earlier because there was a period of YouTube where there was a period of time where there was a bit of a, do you know, a bit of like a hack. Do you know the Spiffing Brit?
I know of the Spiffing Brit, yeah.
Yeah. So he had a video a while ago about why long videos, like long, maybe hour, 2 hours plus videos were performing like disproportionately well.
Yeah.
And it was a part of this.
Like watch time, right? YouTube watch time was like.
Yeah. But usually watch time, it's diminishing returns because people just won't watch it if it's too long. But there was kind of this, I don't know, not like a hack, but just a thing, an exploit. That's the word. That's his whole channel is like exploits.
Right.
And so he discovered that long videos would be suggested to people who are asleep. So people who have been watching YouTube and they fall asleep, the autoplay keeps going. And then because they're not clicking off any videos, YouTube the algorithm kind of realized like, oh, these people really commit.
Yeah.
Let's give them some long videos. And so long videos would get served up to
people that watch videos for a long time. Which
people
is
who are asleep.
People are asleep.
And then it's not that all of your views, because I think people misunderstood this a little bit because people just think that you're just making money off people sleeping. It was more that it gave like an algorithmic boost because there were quite a few people who were watching your video through all the way to the end, even if it was 4 or 5 hours long. And then that would tell the algorithm, hey, people are watching this. And so it would push it out then to even real people. And so you still had real people watching. Your comments, because otherwise you wouldn't get any comments if it was all people sleeping. So you'd still get a lot more comments and all that. It was just more like you would get a free algorithm boost if your videos were really long. So I went through this era where I made really long videos. It was just like that was the play at the time. And it worked. Like I made these videos that were minimum 2 hours long, sometimes 3 or 4, and not one of them would really flop. Like even its flop was like a decent performing shorter video on my channel. And so, but that was really fun for me because I got to actually make like longer videos and actually commit, because it's always risky to make a long video because you have to spend so much time making them. So it was fun for me. I did these videos where I went through and played like the worst 25 rated Game Boy Advance games of all time.
Okay.
And so I'd play each one for like 10 minutes or something like that and kind of go through them all. Or I did one where I played the top 25 games on the App Store to try answer like, why are these the top games? Because they're not that good.
Yeah. The app games.
And that video still earns me money because that video popped off so well. I think the whole subject matter around that one was interesting. But those really long videos just worked just disproportionately well. And so this was already at the end, and I think YouTube had already kind of patched this exploit by the time I was like, how far can we push this?
8 hours.
8 hours. And so I'm like,
Roblox.
I'm going to react to a whole channel.
So did the Roblox video make the cut in for the time that it was allowed, or like not allowed, but working?
In the end, it didn't do that great.
Oh, sad.
So it was already kind of after the time when
you
those long
still
videos.
put it out.
Well, yeah, I mean, what else am I gonna do?
Oh, no one's putting long videos out. Well, here's this 8-hour Roblox video.
I should have just split them up into like individual videos, like reacting to each video, and then I just would have had content for the next like 3 years. Just
8 hours is crazy. Though. What do you actually watch on YouTube? What kind of content do you actually watch? Like specific YouTubers or specific content?
I guess these days, YouTube has changed a lot. Where I think I do think the era of YouTubers in general is a little past. I think YouTube doesn't. This is an answer. It's just a very long-winded one. I think.
Hey, where's he going? I'm looking over the side to some other. Get a look at this guy. Ask him one question. He's telling me the history of YouTube.
I think. Yeah. Well, my point is, I think YouTube used to push creators, and now I think YouTube actively doesn't promote creators. They promote topics or subjects or I guess individual videos, which in turn means people need to make videos about the same thing again, which means you're essentially making videos about topics, not people. And again, this is an answer, but my other thought about it is that we used to get YouTubers, and every now and then you still do. You get these very personality-driven characters who like can just make videos about absolutely anything, and it performs well. And I actually think that in order for those people to succeed, they almost have to come out of the gate doing things wrong, because YouTube doesn't promote these people. It doesn't promote just personalities, because how do they even like index that? Who are they showing that to? And so you end up with these, it's like this survivorship bias where the only people who are old school YouTuber personality based creators are the people who never cared to do it the proper way. They didn't try to niche down. They didn't try to talk about topics, and then kind of made it anyway because of their, I don't know, magnetic personality or whatever it is. And so to answer the actual question, my point is that I think these days there is just way less emphasis on watching actual people as opposed to watching videos about topics. The subscriber count in general is just generally just a vanity metric now. It doesn't really mean anything. YouTube,
I mean, I get recommended videos that are so whack. Like in terms of like, I have never thought about this topic before.
Yeah.
And it's got 17 views, and it was released yesterday. And it's on my explore page, like, you watch this video, so what about this?
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, fine.
Yeah.
Let's see what this random video is about. But what I actually asked you was, what are you watching?
And so in my long-winded thing, because you did. I think maybe I'm making this up, but I think you snuck in what any particular people or whatever.
Yeah.
And so my very long-winded rant was about
refuses to answer.
I don't want to tell him that it's all gacha like videos. It's actually just purely gacha hate. That's all it is. No. So the reason I say that is because it's hard to pinpoint exactly what I watch. Back in the day, I'd be able to say, I watch Casey Neistat and I watch this guy and this guy. Whereas now it's like, I don't know, I watch gym videos and maybe some cooking videos. It's very like interest based. It's just whatever my current interests are, there'll be videos on my feed about that. And so it's hard to point at any one specific thing.
How about we go through what's like the first 3 videos that pop up on our YouTube homepage?
Yeah.
Let's see what pops up. I'll lie and say something cool if it's lame.
Oh, okay. Here's one. Okay, here's one. This is a series that I've been watching. He's been coming out with it. This guy called Mike Lake. He's in Melbourne. He's down the road somewhere.
Okay.
And he's been 3D printing a Porsche GT3.
Wow, that would be such an interesting. Yeah, that would be an interesting watch.
He bought a Porsche Boxster, like the cheapest Porsche you can get, and he's been 3D printing the entire body, and he's actually like, as in like for it to be legit. Like he's I don't know, doing other things to it to make sure it's actually like sound body work. I guess essentially making his own Porsche GT3, which for anyone who doesn't know is a way more expensive car than a Porsche
3D.
Boxster.
And 3D printing it, I guess, like that. I don't really know what the economics are of like the amount he'd had to 3D print and how much that would cost.
Well, he's kind of doing the calculations as he goes, and it's like it's gonna, like, the whole build is gonna end up costing him, I don't know, some thousands of dollars. Yeah. But that's nothing compared to
a Porsche.
Yeah, the hundreds of thousands of dollars or whatever that a GT3 would cost.
My first 3 videos are, one's a Formula 1 video.
Yeah.
The next is, wow, I can't remember his name. Charlie as in Penguins Zero.
Okay.
Z.
Yeah.
Video. He's been going on about this Lego scandal for a while.
Okay.
I'm not watching them anymore because I don't know. The first Lego scandal video was like really long, and I was like, okay, this is a big topic. But also, I'm so out of the loop. And then our next one is, I don't know if you heard about this, but I'm actually super, super excited. And it's also, I think, the first time this has ever happened, to my knowledge, of 3 different K-pop groups coming together to release a song. And it's not just like one member of each group. It's like the actual groups in whole.
Yeah, right.
So it's Cat's Eye, LE SSERAFIM, and Islet. They're all putting out a song called Iconic by Mistake together. And I think it comes out day after tomorrow. But that wasn't an actual video. That was a countdown video. So technically the third video is a video about video games from like the most recent. There's been like 3 showcases about like Xbox's showcase, PlayStation's, and Gamescom.
This has been a Nintendo one that just happened.
Yeah, Nintendo's the Direct.
Yeah.
So that's technically the third, but like that one was about a countdown for the release of the music video.
So get this. My second video is a 14-second long video from 17 years ago.
Yeah, this is the kind of stuff
called
that randomly
Dog Eats Bean Burrito in 1 second.
That's so good.
Which we talk about YouTube algorithms. YouTube algorithms, I know this for a fact. It does take into account the device you're watching on and even the time that you're watching it.
Right.
So at this hour, I would usually be in bed, not really actually settling down to watch YouTube, but just like checking. And that's the video that I would go, okay, well, I could just watch that one real fast.
Like a quick 17-minute in and out real quick.
Whereas like
17 seconds, sorry.
yeah, on the weekend, watching like on the TV, it might serve up something that's like an hour long. And
speaking of on the weekend, was that the first ever qualifying Formula One you've seen that I chucked on while Jid's party was going on?
Well, I didn't watch much of it.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I didn't watch much of it. I can't, like, this is coming out probably 2 weeks after the fact of Monaco's qualifying, but that was so sad. And then the race on Sunday. Okay, I'll tell you how depressed I was. So, I mean, I had a great time at the party. The qualifying was basically the last thing that happened before, like, it started to wind down.
Yeah.
So, I was having a great time. Qualifying happens. Charles Leclerc doesn't pull through in his home race. And my energy, like, crashed. I was so, like, distraught after that. I didn't know what to talk about. Jordan was kind of, like, egging on my depression as well. I was like, oh, you didn't see what Charles, he couldn't pull through in his home race. I was like, leave me alone, man. I don't want to think about it. So, like, the night ends. So we even went down, like, him and Karina went and got their Uber at the same time I got mine. Oh, no, they drove home. And, like, the last thing he said to me as I walked to the Uber was, like, enjoy the race tomorrow. And I was like, oh. Okay, so, and then, obviously, depressed. Sunday, the next day, I wasn't that hungover, but I was still sad. So I didn't go to gym. I didn't go to gym because I was
you were sad.
Yeah,
not because you partied the night before, but because you're sad.
I wasn't that hungover. I was like, I genuinely thought in the morning, I was like, oh, I could go to gym. I'm like not even feeling all that bad. But I was like, nah, like I don't have the happiness levels to go to the gym. Then the race happens, and it's kind of hard to describe what happened to me during that race. But it's safe to say I was even sadder. Like, something even worse happened than how that qualifying went. And we had Monday off here in Australia because it was a king's birthday. We celebrate the royal family. We all care about it.
Oh, yeah. We all get together and throw barbecues and say, long live the king.
Yeah, that's what we say. And then we sing the national anthem of the UK. So we had a public holiday. And I didn't go to gym on Monday either because I woke up sad from the race. I think I recovered by basically Tuesday in terms of I'm now like, I have the energy levels and like the endorphins to will myself to go to gym. But I have Korean class on Tuesdays usually, so couldn't go to gym then. Today we're here recording. So tomorrow I will go to gym again after
have been like a week.
Yeah. And all because of what happened at Monaco. Basically half a world away, and they're affecting my gym schedule.
I feel like it's supposed to be the other way around. You're supposed to go to the gym and it's supposed to make you feel better.
Yeah, but I didn't. I couldn't. I didn't have it. I just didn't have it, man. Yeah, I made sure not to wear a Ferrari top. I usually wear Ferrari tops on the weekend because I'm like, they're probably racing or somewhere. Yeah. It's been great while they were all on break for like 3 weeks because of the war. Because there was no racing, and then Ferrari's on top because, you can wear Ferrari gear and everyone kind of thinks that they're doing well. Not this weekend. I did not wear a Ferrari top from Sunday till I still haven't. This is a Manchester United top from 1992, a Beckham OG one.
Cool.
Why did you think it was a Le Seraphim one?
Yeah, who's sharp?
my Le Seraphim Manchester United top is like a current era one. This is an OG vintage Beckham back before I was even born. But yeah, so you're watching some gym videos. Do you watch gym videos on like technique or like more like lifestyle type of stuff?
I have been through quite like the gymfluencer kind of gauntlet. Like when I first got into gym, I just went to the gym and just kind of, did what my friends were doing. Mm-hmm. But then when I kind of took an interest in it on my own, I did kind of the classic thing of getting into like Jeff Nippard.
Yeah. Classic. Athlean X.
Not Athlean X.
Oh, no?
No, Athlete
What
X
is it?
is like when you're 14 and you're like, how do I get abs?
Athlete, and then there's Scott Herman Fitness as well.
I was
Those three are just.
I was into Jeff Nippert and Renaissance periodization. So
Oh
like
yeah,
Dr. Mike,
okay.
like they're science based guys, and you know, because they sell you this idea that it's like, well, if you just stretch your arm behind your back when you're doing this movement, your bicep will get 3 times bigger. And like I believe it, but
And it's 3 times bigger now.
but at the same time, I think it can be a little bit damaging to new lifters, because I think the emphasis, it's not that it's wrong, but I feel like the emphasis is like maybe misplaced when you're in terms of just your priorities. Like when you're kind of getting into the gym, or maybe you've been in the gym for a while, but you're trying to get more serious about the gym, or you haven't seen the results that you're looking for. I feel like there's other lessons that are maybe more important. But anyway, since like these days, there's a couple guys I watch a lot of. I watch this guy, GVS, Jeffrey Verity Schofield.
Okay.
He's huge. He's just this massive
Freak.
He's just built, and he's like completely natural. Both of these guys that I watch are natural, because I think that's a big one. If you're taking advice from someone, it's like, you might as well take advice from someone that's in the same court.
Yeah.
And he's absolutely like jacked, and he talks a lot about like where your priorities should actually be. A lot of it is kind of like technique and programming and this kind of thing, but it's not in the way that it's like, it's slightly more bro science, but it's like somewhere in the middle, where it's not just like do it because the burn feels good, but it's also not like, well, actually, if the lengthened partial, is going to give you 3% more growth over 12 months, or like, it's just it's a little bit more like experience through coaching and all that kind of stuff, and the fact that he's just absolutely giant, and you can kind of take his word for it and what he's managed to do with his own clients. And this other guy called Basement Bodybuilding.
I've heard of that channel.
Have you?
Yeah.
It's a much smaller channel, but he's
unless I'm thinking of someone else, I think I've heard of him.
This guy, I don't know how big he is, maybe 30 or 40,000 subscribers or something like that.
Maybe not.
But he's kind of got a very similar approach. It's like this, I guess like real gym guys kind of, you fall in, I guess your methodology falls somewhere where it's like, whether you think it or not, you probably have your own sorts of biases of what you really believe and all this kind of stuff. And they kind of fall into a similar camp that kind of gels with me. I like the way they think about it. And he's almost, I would almost say, a little bit more philosophical. He kind of approaches the mental aspect of it a lot. Okay. And kind of talks a lot about how you should be approaching it in terms of just like how you're thinking about it. And whatever. And he does obviously talk about technique and stuff, but I don't know. Those two guys I got notifications turned on for them.
Oh, really?
I watch all their videos.
Okay. My like journey through gym YouTube was kind of, I guess, maybe similar, but also different. So I started training in 2016. Yeah, similarly, I didn't watch YouTube. I just kind of went to the gym and did whatever. Yeah. But kind of early on, like before 2017 started, I had started to Google like how to do a certain exercise. So then I get into like basic like technique or like how-to videos on YouTube for the gym. And then from there, I did like the big channels like Athlete X and Scott Herman Fitness. But at least back then, they were really big. Yeah. And still, it was just like, oh yeah, this is how you do this exercise. This is how you do this exercise. These are the mistakes you make, and then this is like the technique you need to use. Or the top 10 videos, like, oh yeah, this is the best exercises for this, blah, blah, blah. And then I went on to like the science-based stuff. But I think after a while, and it's been 10 years or more now, I just completely off it. I'm just so off of. The reason I would now watch a gym-based video is for something very specific, like I actually really need to know how to do this. But it's quite rare now after being in the gym for so long.
Yeah.
I do like I agree. You fall into like this sort of camp, like I know what I'm doing, or I know the kind of approach I'm gonna make. And when you want to change your approach, because like in the gym, I don't know if the audience empathizes or with it at all, or like goes to the gym, but when you keep doing the same thing for a long time in the gym, your progress will stagnate. So you need to like change something every now and then. Usually people say 3 months, but it's different for everyone. Some people can do it for way longer. Some people need to change it like way faster than that. But yeah, it's like one of those like, 3-month things. When I start feeling that I'm plateauing in some kind of lift, I'll be like, okay, let's just quickly check out YouTube again, see what some people are doing. Is there something I want to add? But because I've been going to gym so long, I can generally do the shock my body thing with a way older like set that I had.
Yeah.
So I just don't watch YouTube for gym at all. I'm not trying to act like I know everything, but it's like, look, there's not much that they can say at this point that is gonna give me something. Give me something.
I mean, it is interesting you say that because one of the topics that like basement bodybuilding and Jeffrey would say, and they actually talk about fairly often, is that they don't really believe in the plateauing lift thing and shocking your body and stuff.
Interesting.
And I think
that's so interesting.
I think that's what I mean, where like I like these types of videos because it's not just talking about like, you know, which movement grows your bicep the best. It's like it's tackling the more, I guess, fundamental questions of like, first of all, why are you lifting? What are your goals? I think that's a big one. If you're like, I guess everyone goes to the gym for different reasons. And if your goals are just to, I don't know, move, you know, like move things around, then there's no wrong way to do it. But I mean, these two guys are very much in the camp of bodybuilding. Yeah, so it's all about like hypertrophy, growing your muscles to be bigger. And it's like, there's that lens. And if that's not someone's goal, then you're gonna want to take different advice because it all depends. Like, I mean, obviously power lifters, the advice is completely different.
Yeah. All the people that are just going there purely to lose weight.
Yeah, exactly. But on the shocking the body thing, the way these guys talk about it, they're like, it's not so much that you're plateauing because your body is kind of like used to the movement and now you're not getting what you need out of it. It's because you're actually kind of reaching a point where you're getting strong enough where your growth will slow down. Like it just will, because you can't keep your progressive overload happening at the same rate forever and ever and ever.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with that.
And the shock the body thing is usually just, well, when you go do a different movement, your body's not used to it, and then you kind of start feeling the sensations again. But usually that's because you're kind of almost going backwards a little bit, and then you're doing something a bit different, and then you kind of working yourself up to that point where now you're actually starting to, what they would say is getting to the point where now you're actually making progress again, but then you're throwing it out the window and trying something else because you plateaued, when it's like, well, that's where you should actually be sticking with it. And then doing things like, instead of adding an extra rep, maybe you can't add an extra rep week by week. Instead, you have like, you're focusing more on slightly better form that week. And if you can do the same number of reps with slightly better form, then you are getting stronger. And it's just that you're just never going to keep up that same pace.
Yeah. Very interesting. I maybe I need to watch the video because I don't totally agree with that. I don't think that the shock the body thing is some kind of biomechanical phenomenon that's happening. The reason I think it's important to do that is because if I do the same thing for a while, I'll get bored. If I get bored, I'm not going to enjoy it, and then I'm going to give up.
Well, yeah, they absolutely talk about that aspect as well.
And then on the other end with, like maybe the progress is happening where you are plateauing. So like the micro improvements you're making is where you make some improvements. But I disagree that you are letting go of gains by moving to another thing, because if you're moving to another thing and you're just obviously you're dropping the weight to do this new exercise, if you're taking it seriously, you're not losing the gains. Because
No,
if
yeah.
you are doing this new exercise and your muscles aren't used to it, so you have to drop the weight. But if you're doing it seriously and you are still getting the DOMs, that means your muscles are tearing, and that means you are going to get stronger and building the muscles.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can see what they're saying. If you're putting in, like, you're doing everything right at that plateau point, you are going to be making gains. But I think it's just my training style. I wouldn't like to do that, because that means I'm going into the gym to lift that probably very heavy weight and like basically like maximum effort
Yeah.
for quite low reps at that point, because I'm plateauing.
Well, you could
And
be,
then I'm
you
go-
could still be
Or
plateauing.
you could plateauing at
higher-
like at 16 reps for some kind of different exercise. But I think that's then not leading, but looking down the lens of a CNS damage type of situation for me. Like, I think I would just either get sick of it or like metabolically get sick of it.
Yeah. Well, this is. Yeah. I mean,
but again, different
everyone-
people are
exactly.
going to like react to that type of exercise or like the type of regime differently. Whereas I feel like I need to change things after a little while.
yeah. I mean, I don't want to say that what they're saying is that that's what you need to do.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole, like, that's just one topic. And one of the huge things that I have learned from them is that, yeah, it really just does have to be fun, because the most important thing is just adherence more than anything else. Just like getting to the gym and doing something, whatever's going to keep you in the gym the longest is ultimately going to lead you to the most gains.
Yeah.
Because if you are just getting bored, then you end up not going. Like, that's not how you get
It's
gains.
like the hardest thing to get like friends into the gym is, I mean, one of the main things is if you get into the gym with someone for the first time and then they get pushed too hard and they have a bad experience in the first go, they get completely turned off. But after, if they don't have a bad experience at the start, if they don't find motivation by themselves and they need it from like an external source, like the friend at the gym or a trainer, then it's basically like a time limit already being set on their life at the gym, that they need to find some other form of motivation to go there until you do it for long enough that it becomes like lifestyle, which is where it is for me. Unless it's a bad Ferrari weekend, I am at the gym all the time, whether I like feel like it or not. But when you're starting out in that first, like, I'd say first 3 years, it is possible for a bad month to just set you off and be like, you know what? I don't really have to go to the gym. I don't really need to go to the gym.
My big bit of advice, or not like advice, what worked for me is get in the gym and take it seriously. Especially if you're going there like for hypertrophy, you want to grow your muscles to be bigger, aesthetically. Go in the gym and commit to it. Work hard enough in the gym to see progress, and then it's just a matter of you at the very least don't want to lose your progress. So you got to keep going.
You might like what you see. When you're there. Or maybe like some people genuinely get a bit of a dopamine boost when they see the number go up. Like, I lifted more weight this time, or I ran further. Like, maybe like for me lately, because I'm in more of a shred phase right now, I really get enjoyment out of seeing the level that I'm doing on the Stairmaster go up. I'm like, oh damn, I pushed like a big number for way longer, and like that's motivating in its own little way.
Cardio is a good one for that. The for weight lifting, unless you're like a power lifter, and that's the whole idea in powerlifting, is you want to lift the bigger number. For hypertrophy, it can be a little bit of a trap, because then it just can encourage bad form and bad technique and ego lifting and all this kind of stuff.
I think if you're doing that, you need to set some boundaries for yourself. Like the way I do it, because I don't want to like become a power lifter, and I had some kind of like natural strength going into the gym because of the sports I did beforehand. I had to set rules like I'm never going past this many reps, And if I can't lift the weight higher than I'm at, when I get to that end of rep thing, that's when I start doing like what you were saying earlier, where you're working on the form instead.
Yeah.
Or I would, drop the weight back down and be super strict with it.
Yeah.
To like, you fix up everything else
Yeah.
as you go. And so you don't get into this like trap of the way you're going is you're training in a completely different way. It's very easy to like, be like, oh, but maybe I just put a new plate on and see how well I can do.
I find like you're talking about how people always fall into like the different camps. I find gym talk, especially with other people who are dedicated to it. Like if you're just talking to just a random Joe, it doesn't really matter. But when you have someone who has spent a lot of time in the gym talking to someone else who has spent a lot of the time in the gym, it's almost, when you get into the nitty gritty of it, it's
like religion.
It's almost like religion or politics or something, where it's like, I see what you're saying, but like we are not gonna see like
that's pretty funny and so true.
It's like for most things, like I mean, you're still in the gym. Like there's still so many things that you can always agree over. But it's just like one of those things of
like sometimes you see other people doing things in the gym, you're like, I can't believe they're doing that. But I think it's maybe it's a basic way of saying it, but I mean the most obvious way of saying it is everyone's different. But it really is that, because people will get results and then the results are proof of something working. Yeah. But if you look way deeper into it, because like genetics and like I said earlier, like whatever previous things you'd done, like I was sporty in a certain way, or you have just more cardiovascular health in general, so you can do certain exercise for longer without getting sick of it or tired, or there's just so many other things that you can't factor in if you only look at it as there's this exercise that if you do it this way, it's the best. That's probably not gonna fit for everyone, because it's probably like decent, or like maybe a 6 or a 7 for everyone, but it's a 10 for you, and it's a 10 for you for set reasons, not a 10 for everyone.
Yeah. I mean, like Basement Bodybuilding always talks about his JM press, his Smith JM press, which is like a really close grip bench press, and it's to the point where it's a tricep movement, not a chest movement. Yeah, and it's like, man, I want to do this so bad. My elbows just won't let me. There's no way. I've tried them. I was like, I'll do 1 rep and be like, nope.
Yeah, I mean, like your wrist might not be able to even do that.
Which is like a huge one. I think I do think there is a little bit of like, it's always just such a hard thing to discuss, because the genetic differences are a real thing, especially with things like mobility and stuff. But you can work on mobility. You can work on a lot of these things. And I think that for some people, and it's not to say that there aren't genetic differences, but I feel like for some people, it's like, it feels like an easy answer, like an easy cop out or something, or to just be like, oh no, I can't go to failure because of this reason, or something like that. And it's like, well, or maybe we could work up to it. Like it's
you can go maybe 1 rep to failure or 2 reps to failure. I think there's a lot that you can say people can work on. But if you see someone, or like in this unfortunate situation where they see an exercise on YouTube or TikTok or whatever, and they think that's really cool. But then they realize they can't do it because of what X reason. And then they realize that, they can do it if they fix this thing about themselves. But that fix might be like an 8 to 12 month long process. Of movement, technique, rehab.
Exactly.
All this other thing. So it really comes down to like, is it worth it for that person to like, do they want to do all of that extra effort to do this exercise in this case? Will they care about it still then? Does it matter that much? Are they going to get a benefit from doing this exercise versus something else that they already can do? I don't know. Like, I think sometimes people give these excuses like, oh yeah, genetics or my mobility or my mindset or something. But when people say things like that, I'm just like, well, fair enough. I hope you're just doing something.
Yeah, I feel like it always comes back to what people's goals are.
Yeah.
And the thing is that everyone has different goals. And so it's like, that's one of the big things, like you always talk about, like people always talk about in the gym, seeing people doing weird movements.
Yeah.
And like, you know, judging them, or maybe they're doing really lightweight or something like that. And it's like, first of all, you never know what someone's goals are.
Yeah.
There's this lady in our gym who is like, I feel like a nice way to describe it. I'd like flailing, just all the way, like on everything, like any machine. It's like there's limbs going everywhere, and then like on the treadmill going backwards while like leaning over, and like all this kind of stuff, just like going nuts. But I'm like, my thing is like, I mean, we're not training for the same thing. I don't know what she's training for, but she's training for something else, and
she must be good at it.
Yeah, and then even aside from that, because sometimes maybe you do know that someone else is just training to get jacked or whatever.
Yeah.
And then even then, I feel like we've had this discussion before where it's like when you do it long enough, you can kind of, you realize your opinion changes on a lot of things. And so I almost feel like it's a beginner thing to get into the gym and judge other people.
Yeah.
Partly because you don't know what they're training for, but also partly because maybe you'll find that you'll end up doing whatever it is that they're doing.
Yeah.
You're just like,
that's
not
funny.
at that point
a
yet.
horrible thing to happen, but it will happen to most people when they start the gym. Yeah, I do catch myself. Like I'll see someone doing some like freaky at the gym. I'm like, and then I like look away and I'm like, they probably saw a video on that somewhere. That's usually the thought. I'm like, oh, okay, they're probably like, someone probably told them to do it. It's not like they just come up with that themselves. Like someone's doing something that you've never seen before. So you're going, one, it either works for them, so they keep doing it, or two, they were told to do it because like, why else are they doing it? But that's my thought process.
But I feel like what I'm saying is I like to go to the even more generous option 3, which is I just don't know that yet. Like, I don't know why that
they're on some crazy.
Like
there's a next level gym hypertrophy.
It's not like
unreleased Jeff Nippon video.
Not necessarily if someone's doing something weird, but if someone's just doing something where I'm like, oh, I wouldn't do it like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, well,
or like if you disagree with the thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Then it's maybe like, well, maybe you're just not on that opinion yet. And maybe you will be one day, or maybe you were one day, once upon a time. And like, it's just, I feel like I've learned too many times to like, I've watched people and been like, "Ooh, that's actually not how I would do it." And then whatever, a year or two later, I find myself that's how I do it now, and it's like,
yeah. I think quite recently I caught someone doing shoulder breakers, which is that to like, you know, get the fluid going on in their shoulder blades.
Yeah,
so they don't like pull something when they do chest or something, but using, I can't remember now because I can only think of it doing it like my correct way, but they were doing it so that the backwards force was not actually going into their shoulder. Right. It was doing it to their elbow. And I was looking at it like, I shouldn't think that they're doing it wrong. Maybe they're not doing shoulder breaks, but the movement was the shoulder. It was just the machine itself and the way the lines of force were lining up was just not for that. It's like, don't think badly. Don't think bad. Oh, I know what it was. It was like, it's just so weird thinking about it. So, you know, like the cable machines, like that you can grab. Usually when I do shoulder breakers, it's like, it's at where the height is from my elbow, and I'll go like that so that the force is going through my shoulder. For them, the handle was still there, but the cable's up there to the top. So they were pulling it out like that.
Yeah, from the top.
Which is like, I don't really know what they were aiming for there.
Yeah.
Like, where's the force going and all that stuff. Whereas like usually you want to pull it down over here so that like the force is, you're pulling against it. They were pulling down and to the side. Yeah. Which I gotta think, maybe they weren't doing shoulder breakers, but I don't know what they were doing. Don't judge them. They might have seen some video online.
Or I think the big one is always if someone's doing like rehab movements. Like rehab movements can be wacky. They all look
very, very different. Yeah.
I've got like bad like lower back. Like I'm trying to like rehab my lower back.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily do anything weird, but then I'm like, some of my movements I'm doing are like super light, and I'm like sitting there like just using the bar, and I'm like, feeling self-conscious.
Yeah.
The guy next to me is loading up a bunch of plates doing the same movement, and I'm
yeah, it's tough letting go of the ego when you have to do certain things like that. Generally, if I ever have like a span of being sick, say if I'm sick for like 2 weeks and I'm off the gym, the first session I come back to, I force myself to lift like less just because I don't want to like hurt myself. But at the same time, something that I don't know how familiar the audience is with the gym. When you take time off like 2 weeks from the gym, or even maybe like a week and a half, you probably, if you've been training for a while, will come back stronger, like way stronger than you think you are. Because if you're training consistently before that, your body's actually never had time to really recover. Even when you think you're taking rest days and you think your muscles are actually like lifting and you're lifting heavier week in and week out, when you take that actual 2-week break where you just don't work out and your muscles are not being pushed at all, you will come back genuinely stronger. So it's like a fight between, I'm coming back after being sick and I don't want to push myself because like my muscles aren't used to it, but also I could easily do this if I wanted to and if I was trying. And it's like you're leaving your ego at the door, but your ego is smacking that door. It's like, let me in. Let me lift that plate.
Easy.
But then it's good because like you do that, and probably on the next session you still have that like return gain strength type of stuff, which is good. I really enjoy it. I don't mind getting sick when I think about that.
So in a drastic turn of conversation, I don't have a good segue to this, but I have a little bit of an announcement.
Okay.
And I guess I want to preface it by saying, you know what? I'll just announce it, and then I'll post face instead of preface.
Okay. That's a thing.
I'll postface.
Okay. Just okay. Cut this. I don't know what you're doing.
You're trying to cut my part.
Cut everything.
You're like, I'm not even embarrassed for me. You're like,
I'm like, I don't know what he's trying to say, dude.
No, so I guess I've started. I'm in the early stages of writing a novel.
Whoa, that's cool. Damn. Since when did you start?
Well, I guess it's hard because it's like, well,
when do you start?
Yeah, when do you count it? But because she's been toying around with some ideas for a little while, and I guess I could say I've started very recently because now I've actually started putting words on a page, and that's not to say I'm actually writing It's not like I've started chapter 1 and I'm like writing chapter 1 yet, but I'm writing things out. And that's what I was going to preface, but it almost makes more sense to say now that it's like, I guess a book is one of those things. It's like, you don't necessarily know if it's actually going to amount to anything. You kind of have to feel it out and try it out and all that. And there's no guarantee that it will end up into an actual book at the end of it.
Right.
But I am kind of putting some effort into it now.
That's cool. What do you want to reveal about it? Like genre?
Yeah. So this is, I didn't think about it. It's like I have all kinds of stuff I could say. The question is, because I don't yet know which of these things that I know about the story are going to be reveals or not.
True. Like even within the first chapter, you might want to like hold obvious things back about whatever the story is about.
Yeah, but at the same time, I also think that maybe it doesn't matter too much. It's not like I'm putting this out to all of the readers that are going to whoever's going to listen to this one podcast. If they get a minor spoiler or two for what ends up being a spoiler, I don't even know if it would be a spoiler. But the basic idea will be a fantasy. The story is about an alchemist, I guess, growing up or pursuing his dream of becoming an alchemist during a technological revolution that is in some ways kind of antiquating alchemy in some ways. And I suppose that's the basic premise. but there's also kind of like a setting premise. It's not just like out in a meadow. It's I have a very like specific kind of setting in mind, which is almost like a medieval Kowloon world city kind of vibe, where it's more of like a vertical city, with the dark underbelly being for the poorer people, and the closer you get to the skies for the richer people. I just thought it'd be an interesting setting because you see that a lot in kind of like sci-fi and those types of settings.
What you just described to me was very, very, very reminiscent of a hive city in Warhammer 40k.
Okay.
Where you see, like, if you looked at the world from a spaceship outside, the hive cities are so big that they break out of like the atmosphere. They go so high. I mean, it's Warhammer 40k, so it's like extreme to like the max. But they have like the opulence up top, and then the underbelly or the underworld right down the bottom where the gangs are and all the bad stuff goes on. Yeah, stuff like that.
So I know that comes up in sci-fi. Like I've watched some of also like Silo. We talked about that. I've tried to read the book and it was like so rambly. But I felt like I hadn't seen too much of that idea in a fantasy setting. I thought like a tall medieval fantasy style city would be an interesting idea. And there's so many other things I could talk about, but I guess
you shouldn't.
I don't just leave it at it there. But in terms of the idea itself to actually do this, first of all, I feel like my audience already is interested in narrative content. That's sort of what they watch me watch is narrative content. And especially more recently, a lot of it has been actually like good narrative content that they've been asking, wanting me to watch.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
And so we've been doing a little bit more stuff recently, like some of, Glitch Productions, so studios, or I think it's productions.
What's something that they've made?
The Amazing Digital Circus.
No.
Okay, well, that's their most famous one. Okay. That's like the first episode has 500 million views.
Wow. Okay.
It's a YouTube series.
Massive series, huh?
There's series like that I've started kind of getting into on the channel, and that kind of gave me it's not what inspired the idea, but it was just sort of like, it feels like it could kind of work if my audience is there because they have an interest in narrative content, and then I produce some narrative content. Yeah. First of all, if there is potential down the line to find an agent or a publisher or whatever, there's like, you have something to kind of back yourself up where you're like, look, I know I can get some guaranteed sales, which is already like just a huge thing. Like most agents are in the business of risk management. Like they just want to know that they can get some books bought. But even if not, I think then what ultimately like made me go, all right, I actually might genuinely start doing this is the thought that I don't even need that to work. I think for so many people, your options are either, find an agent who can find you publishers or whatever. And, you have to hope then. You have to go out and such them. You have to hope that your book is good enough.
Whereas you have the option of just releasing it to your current audience.
Yeah, because people can self-publish. But then again, then who's going to buy it? Because who's ever finding out about it if you self-publish? But I could literally directly sell it to them if I wanted to. And so worst case scenario, I can just sell my book to my audience and have some people read it. And at the end of the day, that's probably reason enough to give it a go. Because the number one thing that would hold me back, because I've wanted to write a book since I was in high school. And one of the things that always held me back is like, is it just a waste of time? Like obviously for your own personal, like you obviously have your own personal interest in it, but you would hope that some people are actually going to read it. Yeah. But if I can know that some of my audience will actually read it, then I feel like that's enough to just sort of cross the threshold and, all right, well, I'll give it a go.
Yeah. This reminded me of another YouTuber that I watch. He was a One Piece YouTuber. He still is. He just basically does theories on One Piece called Joy Boy Theories. And he, a few years ago...
My audience sometimes call me Joy Boy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's like a massive One Piece thing, right?
Yeah, I am up to the I'm up to the very first. I don't know what it is. I just
What Joy Boy is?
Yeah, I've just heard Nico Robin like reading it on some stone or something like
That's
that.
probably like the first time. It was like an apology, right? Joy Boy wrote an apology to the princess.
Yeah,
in Fishman Island.
And
yeah, that's probably the first mention of it.
And I remember at the time I posted some clip of it onto my Twitter as like a meme because it was like something about Joy Boy, and I was just like, yeah.
Anyways, this guy called Joy Boy Theories, he put out a video like this, like saying this exact thing. He was like,
okay,
I'm writing a book, and if I can't find an agent, I'm still going to put it out, because he was saying he's fortunate enough to have an audience. So even if he has to, if he can't even publish it, he'll just read it as a YouTube video and then just put it out there. He ended up like publishing it. I don't know if it was through an agent, but I know it got sold on Amazon and stuff like that. So like, he managed to get it going. So it's kind of interesting seeing that you're doing it as well. I'm excited for what will come out of this.
I'm sure I will have many consultation with you. I'd be interested in your.
I am a big fantasy reader, and so is Jade.
Yeah,
Jade is a massive fantasy reader.
And my sister is like absolutely like that was her whole life until I mean, I don't know, she has like a job, but like I think I don't know if I'm getting this wrong. I think she's worked as an editor before.
Ooh, okay.
And
that's
so,
cool.
Yeah, I know I have people around me that can definitely give feedback, and I'm not someone that's scared to share my work.
Yeah.
I have a lot of experience putting myself out there. So
true. Being a YouTuber does help.
I would already like have so many things to talk to you about it, but just not on the record for everyone else to find out.
Yeah, I think it's better for like the audience not to get too many details. Like I think it'd be cool if, because how many authors really get to have a back and forth with their audience about their writing process or like the things they're putting in their book. But I think maybe for the first novel, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Maybe look. Let's like imagine this world where everything goes like well with this. I'd say it'd be really fun content for you to put out, like not a catch up, but like maybe even like a talk online with your audience, being like, "Oh yeah, this is like what I'm writing, and this time it's not going to be fantasy, it's going to be sci-fi and blah blah blah," and like this somewhat updates, almost like Patreon updates that sometimes people do with their projects.
I can imagine making at least a few videos about it more down the line when I know what I can reveal and what I can't.
True.
And then being able to bring your audience in and maybe have them have some input on things that I don't mind which way it goes either way. So I think, because I know I don't want my audience's opinion on like major plot points. I just like, I don't want to deal with that. I already get triggered enough dealing with their opinions and bingo. But if it's like, all right, I've got this character, I don't know what to name them. What do you guys think? And then like, just like some basic things like that. I think then it would be really fun.
That could be bad.
A fun way to
naming a character.
I would just like YouTube comments, and then you can kind of go through and find something that you like. But I think that there'd be fun ways to kind of bring people in, ways that don't fundamentally change what it is I want to make.
Yeah. As long as like the majority of the framework is staying intact. But like, maybe you want like your YouTube audience to like leave a mark on the story. Like maybe they do get to name a character or a city or a town, so that there's like there's like some kind of like, oh, you know what? That was like an audience member that played a part in there and like will forever be in that fantasy world.
You know what would be so funny is if I had like a happy ending and a sad ending
you put
in mind, and then I made it a poll, and then I never released the other one. Like they just fundamentally decided which ending goes out.
Like you do like a whole like Robin lives or dies thing that DC did. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Ages ago, I don't even know if it was before. It was probably before we were born. DC had a storyline where the Joker kidnaps Robin. This is Jason Todd Robin, so the third Robin. I don't know if you even. Sorry, the second Robin. It's the second Robin.
I don't know that there's multiple, but I'm very familiar with the idea in comic books where there's always a million versions of every
So
character.
Batman has Robin. The first Robin is Dick Grayson. The second Robin is a guy called Jason Todd, and the third Robin is, I feel bad for not remembering his name, but he becomes Red Robin. Anyways, so Dick Grayson kind of graduates from being Robin and becomes Nightwing, who is a different superhero.
Right.
Maybe you've seen him, maybe you haven't. Then Batman gets a new Robin called Jason Todd, and he has his own adventures. And in one storyline, in the main DC universe, the Joker kidnaps Robin, takes him to a warehouse, and starts beating him with a crowbar. And it's like very iconic, like visual iconography, I guess. Iconic iconography of a crowbar with blood and like Robin in general.
Right.
And then DC puts out a poll at the end of that chapter, like, oh yeah, please call in, and every call is a vote for if he lives or dies. It's like, I think they call in and press a number on their phone or something like that. This is ages ago. I can't really remember what happened, but I think what happened was someone that really hated Robin made thousands and thousands of calls. I can't remember when it was, but I think it was botted calls. Like they just called in so many times. And I think the Kill Robin vote won by like a small amount because of this one person. But it's like, it's a conspiracy. Like people make videos about this, like to this day, of like whether this is real or not and stuff like that. But yeah, so because of that poll, they killed Jason Todd, Robin, in the comics. And they replaced him with, oh, it's really annoying me. I can't remember the name of the third Robin. It'll come back to me.
All right.
I feel bad for not remembering. But yeah, you could do that as well. You could get a character death on a poll, maybe.
I think
a character death is a massive decision.
I think I would only do it if I genuinely had like a fork in the road and could not decide, and I was kind of okay with either. That's when I would like open it up and be like, all right, chat. What do we reckon?
Yeah.
But I think it'd be fun to bring them in with some decisions. At the moment, it's like it's too early because I just don't know what I can and can't. I have a feeling that what I've already said in one or two ways might already be spoilers, but don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you can always cut it out if you feel like. Just
at a later date, I can retcon it. Yeah,
you mention it like you mentioned. Oh yeah, I'm gonna write a book, and I go, whoa, and then you just cut to here.
No, you know what would be so interesting, because what I always think it is like I leave it in, and now that we have it, like we have a relatively small audience, and they hear it. And then later on, when I know, I can go back into the YouTube editor, cut the part where I said what I did, and then there'd just be a few people left and just with their memories of the spoilers.
Did he say something else? There was a sci-fi fantasy. They were talking about sci-fi and fantasy.
And there's no proof. Yeah. They have it in their heads, and I can just gaslight and be like, "No, I never talked about it."
Yeah, you guys just made that up. Yeah, maybe saw a Reddit post. Speaking of fantasies, actually, you think I'm going to talk about anime, but I want to talk about something else first.
Oh, okay.
I watched a movie on the weekend, and I was talking to Jordan about this at the party. But so I saw a clip on Twitter of like this super cool fight scene, like an Asian cinema fight scene. I was like, this looks good. Yeah. I'm going to find this movie and watch it, because I try to watch a movie every week. And I went through a journey to find this movie. So the movie is, I don't know what country it came from, but I think it came from China. It's called Forbidden City. Okay?
Yeah.
Kind of like the actual Forbidden City in China, but like I think that's why it was named that. Anyways, this film is about a Chinese girl who was born during the time of like the one child policy time, and but she had a sister, an older sister. That doesn't really matter. Anyways, the older sister kind of disappeared in Italy. And so now it's like jump to the future or the current day. She's gone to Italy to go look for this sister, and that's where the story happens. So I have to go looking for this movie, The Forbidden City. It's a Chinese film, so I'm doing all of the things I would usually do to look for a Chinese film. But the way it ended up was I had to watch this film because it's not available here in Australia.
Yeah.
I found it through a VPN because I have Amazon Prime in Germany.
Okay.
So it's been dubbed in German. So I had to watch it dubbed in German, a Chinese film.
Yeah.
Set in Italy.
Yeah.
So they're speaking Italian, but they're dubbing the Italian over in German. And then they're also speaking Chinese, which they don't dub over. And also in the film, there's people that speak English as well, which they don't dub over as well. And it was just this very, very weird experience watching this film with all these languages that whenever because they also speak about other countries in the film, and like they're speaking in like I know in the film they're speaking in Italian, talking shit about other countries, but they're saying it in German. So also sometimes speaking about Italian, and it was so weird. But the martial arts in this film, great. It was so good. You can really see how great these films are when they cast a main character that does all this fighting, and she was an actual stunt woman. She can actually do Kung Fu and martial. Oh yeah, this movie is called Kung Fu in Rome in Germany. So it took me a while to find it. Yeah, because I was looking for Forbidden City for a while. So yeah, it's called Kung Fu in Rome in Germany, and great film. I recommend it if you're into martial arts.
Struggling to find movies.
Struggling to find movies, and you're just desperate to find a very specific movie because you saw one random Twitter clip. Oh, and it's also probably MA15 RA18.
Right.
For adults, because I don't know what the coding is where you're watching this from. A lot of crazy violence, but such good martial art. It's good. It's really good. Yeah, anyways, as I was alluding to earlier, anime talk. Anime talk.
Which Adelaide, I think, had a very strong episode this week.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but that's every week. Every week it's been pretty strong. But I particularly like this one. It's like finally dealing with a little bit of like escalation. Like we're actually getting to the heart of a real story here. It is interesting because I just listened to the Trash Taste episode of them finally watching Witch Hat Adelaide.
Okay, they've watched it.
And they spent like half an episode just talking about it. And they're up to like the first few episodes.
Okay.
Because I think they film even more in advance than we do. But yeah, they were glazing it. But I don't need to talk about too much their opinions. Because I keep like thinking when I'm listening to it, I'm like, oh, I have something to say to what they're saying. And then I'm like, no, but our podcast can't just be like a Trash Taste reaction podcast.
I don't watch enough of their content to do that. I only watch honestly, I haven't watched a podcast from them for a little while, but generally I watch maybe one in every 3.
I listen to the podcast at the gym, and because I go every morning, I just run out of podcasts so quick, and so I end up getting through pretty much every episode.
Yeah, I'm a music person at the gym, so
I
podcast is generally driving for me.
Yeah, that makes sense. Damon's was an interesting episode as well. Also kind of similar thing where it's like getting into the main.
I think with Witch Hat, maybe not next episode. I feel like the episode after next would be episode 10, right? Because we just watched 8.
We just watched 8, yeah.
Yeah, I think at episode 10 is where I have read up to. I think.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So it's getting very close to like me being also quite fresh with it. So I'm kind of getting excited about.
Do we know if it's only the 12 episodes, or
I'm not sure.
It's definitely going to get more regardless.
Yeah, I think it's doing well numbers wise. Damon's was very interesting. I'm liking the fact that this story has 2 factions there, and neither of them are
good or bad.
They're kind of like gray. In both ends. So that's made this story really interesting. I'm glad that they did that, because in the first episode you're thinking one side's really evil, and then you go to that village, no, not the village, the clan, and then they're like, oh no, the village is the one that's actually like evil. But then you're like, oh, but they actually did treat him well. But yeah, there's a lot of questions that have been brought up because of that I'm really enjoying. So then everything else is different for us, right? So Akane is great as always. The animation, it's a show about voice acting, but the animation really, it surprises me because they don't need to go that hard. Like, it's just like someone sitting on a cushion
Okay,
chatting.
yeah.
But it's fun. Like I think like if it wasn't for One Piece, the manga right now, Akane is what I'm most excited to read every week.
Wow.
So watching the anime, which is like super early in Akane's story, is just really, really nice. Like it's kind of like it's like a comfort watch.
Yeah.
Because the story's really far ahead, like way far ahead. It's like so much has happened.
Yeah.
Another show with great animation is Marriage Toxin. I actually very much doubt I will drop this at this point.
Okay.
I think that at points early when we were doing this challenge, I was thinking I might get sick of it. Like the premise or like the formula of meeting a new girl, meeting an assassin, finding the other assassin. But now I'm like, this is just good shonen, like good fights.
Yeah, okay.
And they're kind of getting deeper. Like this newest assassin that the main characters met ended up, he showed up really evil, but it turned out to be like a bit more nuanced. Not that nuanced, like it's not that deep, but it's just a tiny bit of nuance where they didn't like, kill each other. They became reluctant allies, which I thought, okay, you know what? A little bit past halfway in the season, maybe this is shaking things up, which is nice. I also like how they've tried to make things a bit epic. Like, oh yeah, there's this 5 great assassin families and stuff. It's like, there's like a bit of power scaling and maybe some expectation that we can have for meeting these families and how cool these assassins are that they'll meet.
Yeah.
So these are all good things. Good things.
Snowball
Earth. It's sticking around. I'll say that
okay.
straight away. It's sticking around, but not because it amazed me this week. I think the next episode might have a really good fight. I think I said that last episode.
Yeah.
I think I said that last episode because it looked like they were leading up to a fight, but the entire episode was them traveling to that fight.
Yeah.
Like the main town that all of the villages are at was going to get attacked 2 episodes ago, and then in this episode they were just getting there, and then one of the main defenders turns up. So I don't think I mentioned this, but this show is mainly like 3D animation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's not like amazing to look at most of the time.
Yeah.
But sometimes they pull it off, and it looks really quite sick. Or it's like a blend of 2D and 3D, and they kind of make it look nice. Like the flames are caught in this like 3D thing, and then the actual characters might be 2D. So sometimes it looks really pretty, and the monsters are now having like interesting abilities, and at least one of the bad guys seems like he might not be completely like flat, a bit 3D as a person and as an animation. But yeah, so next episode.
This is the first time you haven't dropped.
This is the first. Wait, was it? No, last week I dropped Kill Blue.
Kill Blue. Yeah.
So this is the first time it's holding. Everything's holding on.
Wow.
Everything is managing to hold on.
0.5. So 5 shows left.
5 shows left.
And 2 of them were randomly chosen for you.
Snowball Earth. No, it's just Snowball Earth.
I thought Marriage Toxin.
No, I picked Marriage.
You picked Marriage
Did
Toxin.
I? No. Maybe it was assigned to me, but I think I would have picked it anyway. So I can't remember which of those 2 it is.
Okay.
But I remember wanting to pick it because it was. I think it's a Shonen Jump. It's a Shonen Jump manga.
Okay. Interesting.
And is there anything else I need to talk about? No, it's just the 5 shows.
Yeah,
that's everything. Yeah.
So my other shows are Lie Game, Aaron the Southpaw, and Ota Gyaru.
Oh yeah. So Ota
Gyaru, they had a slumber party.
Getting better and better.
At the brother's house. At Ijichi's brother's house.
Oh, right, the older brother, right?
Yeah.
He was introduced in the beach episode.
Yes.
Which is the first one I watched. I mean, the last one I watched.
He's a funny character, the older brother. There's nothing to report about that show. It is exactly as it has always been. Except that I realized that her name is Ijichi, not Ichiji.
Ijichi.
Yeah.
Ijichi. Okay.
And then the other one's Amane, or is it Aname? Or no, it wouldn't be Amane or something like. I actually don't remember her name.
The tall one.
Yeah, the I don't know. And then
The brunette.
genuinely don't know the main character's name because they all call him Otaku-kun. Which is so funny because everyone calls him Otaku-kun. Like even the older brother and everything, like none of them call him by his name. They all just call him Otaku-kun.
I guess that's how they get like the audience to feel like they're talking about them, or like that's a self-insert part.
Well, yeah, maybe. What I actually don't mind about this character, actually speaking of this Trash Taste episode, I'm pretty sure they were alluding to this show.
Really?
And they were, because they started talking about how this season's full of just these shows where it's just these like hot girls who are just interested in the nerd or whatever.
Well, there was a lot this season.
There were.
There's
but
the second prettiest girl.
I know, but there was a couple of things that they said I don't remember that like made me think, I'm pretty certain they're talking about this show. And Connor was just like trashing on it.
The second prettiest girl, and then there's the one that you said that was just like second prettiest girl, right? And you dropped it?
Yeah.
Really early?
I forget what it's called.
The I Love You game wasn't that. It was just a high school romance. I can't think of anything else.
This one was someone's Second Life Plus or some
name
like that.
That's what you're watching.
But anyway, what I don't mind about this one is the main character isn't. He's like a bit like he's a little. But he's getting more confident, and then but aside from that, he's not grating. Like he's fine, which I feel like is so rare for an anime like this. That's what they were saying, is that everyone is just trying to do My Dress Up Darling. Yeah, they saw the success of that, and then everything is just trying to be that. But
was his name Wakana? The guy Gojo.
Yeah.
So, he was not annoying
to
watch, which I think is something that a lot of these shows miss. And Dress Up Darling was a long time ago. But
season 2 wasn't too long ago.
Yeah, but the original, where like if Trash Taste, which one of them said it is right, Dress Up Darling season 1 came out a while ago.
Yeah.
So there was time for people to cook that idea up and be like, oh, this worked. Let me try and have this other idea I have in my head and make it work for them. And then you get like, oh yeah, here's the hot chick that likes the nerd character. But then they make the nerd character a complete loser.
Yeah.
Like that's not what Wakana. I feel like his name was Wakana.
I think it's something like that.
Yeah, that's not what Gojo was. Like Gojo was a quiet, like insular character that liked his hobby and didn't mix with other people, but he wasn't like, oh, like he wasn't all weird. He wasn't like a loser in the sense of like he's going around and like, I don't know, just like the other weird anime tropes that sometimes characters get into. He was like
quite a believable,
a believable shy person.
Yeah, versus, or even like otaku, like someone who's just very interested in their own thing.
Yeah. If by what you're saying, this character Otaku-kun,
he seems like he just seems like a much younger Gojo character, like him when he was a kid, sort of thing. Whereas like almost a little bit more. I don't know. I actually finished the manga of My Dress Up.
Oh really?
Wow. Yeah.
I read a fair bit of it after season 1, but I never finished it. I was reading it until they were kind of like doing this sort of like everyone was in this sort of haunted house all dressed up as different characters, and they were like trying to take pictures or like role play a certain scene from
and there's one character who was really like, no, I refuse to get the...
I don't know what happened there because I haven't watched season 2 either. Maybe I should go watch it if you recommend it. I couldn't keep up with all of the other characters. Like I didn't know who was who, or like maybe it's just the drawing of the scans. I was watching the scans I was reading. It like wasn't clear who these other cosplayers were. Right. Then I was like, I'm not actually interested in any of these people. And it's not about Gojo and him. Her anymore. It was just all these other cosplayers and their stories. And I only remember one of them from the first season, and I just dropped it.
You know what I do highly recommend, and obviously I'm predisposed to this anyway, slightly. I think the English dub of My Dress Up Darling,
Okay.
I think is potentially like the best English dub of any anime. I think they do it so well. I held off however many years it was between season 1 and season 2. Held off reading the manga even though I wanted to read it. I held off simply because I loved the dub so much.
Oh, that's good.
Because it's not one of these, I highly doubt it's one of these. I mean, I can pretty much guarantee it's not one of the ones where the words are very stuck to source material. Instead, they kind of like, they take the character of the girl, I forget her name. Marin, yeah.
Is it?
Kitagawa, yeah. Marin Kitagawa. They take her character and they take what she's trying to portray.
Just quietly, I have no idea how I remember that. That just popped up into my head. Because I was also thinking, like, did I just make that up? Or was that a Persona 5 character? No. Anyways, go on.
Yeah. They take her character and they just translate it into such a believable girl. And you know, she uses all these like slang and everything like that. And maybe to some people they might find that grating and annoying. But to me, it just makes it feel like not generic. It makes it feel like actually real. Like this is potentially how a high school girl would actually talk.
Right.
And I guess some people might find it cringe. I just thought it was just so well done. It just made the characters so believable to me. And then when I swapped to the English, it was a little dialed down, like a little dialed back. No, when I swapped to the manga, it was like a little dialed back and a little more, characters almost feel a little more cookie cutter. The English dub just did such a good job of making them feel like individual characters, and not just the same character from every one of these romance.
I watched the first season in Japanese, but maybe like I feel like I need a show to watch when I'm not doing homework. I mean, now all the shows are somewhat enjoyable, I think, except for Snowball. So
just to quickly wrap up my last two shows.
Go through that.
Aaron the Southpaw does this to me every single time. The start of the episode is a bit dry, and then by the time it ends, I'm like, this is good. This is good, and I'm pretty sure it still is good. I think what makes it hard is that I think it does such a good job of portraying such a toxic workplace situation.
Oh, okay. Is that what's
that
happening?
It's almost like painful to watch.
Oh, okay.
And so I think what ends up happening is that I can reflect on it in hindsight and be like, well, that's really good media. But in the moment, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
It was like this comparison probably makes... I probably won't stand by this comparison, but it's almost like watching the Joker movie where it's like... where it's like just kind of painful, but it's like it's good media.
Are you saying the second Joker movie?
No, I haven't watched the second Joker.
The first one, you didn't like watching it?
No, I'm saying that like it's really good.
Oh, okay.
It's just like
watching it made you feel like
because it's so well done, and so you're watching it. It's like you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. I know what you mean now. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the second one, which was like hanged on for a while.
No, I haven't even seen the second one.
I know it's on, I think maybe Netflix now, and I sometimes think maybe I should watch it, but also it's a weird musical about the Joker. Like, should I? And then you had Liar Game. Jinx.
And this is like so weird. It's like this roller coaster that goes up and down because they keep doing different games. And I feel like each time they have to resell me. Like every time they have to sell me on it again. It's like every time I just go, do I care again? And
a One Piece arc.
Yeah, exactly. Except it's like 3 episodes at a time. And so I don't know. But we're also getting close enough to the end that I'm like, I don't know whether I just push through.
You basically have 3 more episodes, so you have like one more game to watch.
Yeah, this is like I don't know. It's maybe on thin ice, but I am giving it another try. So this is also the first time that I'm not cutting anything this week.
Nice. I think it was just like foretold that this would happen. We get to this point where there's only a few episodes left, and we have 5 left.
5 shows.
Episode 9, 10, 11, 12. 9, 10, 11, 12. 4 weeks left.
So we've cut 7 shows. Yeah. We're keeping 5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think out of the ones that I have, how many it might just be
Ones you
Eren
picked?
the Southpaw that's left.
Yeah.
Did
I
I
have
pick?
Snowball Earth.
Oh, did I pick Otagyaru or I don't? I think I
Think
did.
we'd have to go through the lists again to find out. Because yeah, with Marriage Toxic, I'm like a bit mixed on if I picked that or not. I think maybe it was assigned to me.
I think Marriage Toxin was assigned to you. I also think Otagyaru was assigned to me as well.
Yeah.
I think it was assigned to me, but I remember saying that I was like,
you
I
would
was going to
watch
pick
it.
that anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also want to bring this up as another anime talk thing. Remember a few weeks ago, when I was having rants about this romance shows, I kept going, "Oh yeah, you and I are polar opposites." As another anime that I just picked up because I wanted to watch good romance. So that was a show from maybe a season ago or 2 seasons ago, but so I haven't finished it. I've only watched like episode 4. The same author has written another story in the same universe, and it's airing right now. Or maybe, I think it's airing right now in this season. It's called The Ramparts of Ice. And I was like, you know what? It's the same author, and I haven't even finished the first one, but I was like, I'll just watch it. It's so good.
So you're picking up another.
I picked up another. It's so good that I binged the whole thing, and I'm totally up to date. So I'm at episode 12 for it.
Wow.
I'm so up to date. I think it like started a couple of weeks earlier than the rest of the season. I think it's a 24 episode show as well.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe it's a 13 episodes, only one left. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure. But this is great. And it's kind of a romance, but at the same time, it's not a romance. It's more like multiple character studies.
Okay.
This author, I really want to like research who this person is, because for her, I think it's a her. I could be wrong. For this person to have written these 2 stories, and both of them to make me think, oh wow, you're writing people like real people, or like you're writing people and I'm not like turned off by them or anything. Or whenever characters make, like, you know how sometimes in a show the first impression of a character would be like, this person's like rude, or this person's mean, or this person had an agenda. Yeah. But then literally like straight away after that impression's made, this story will completely explain with like genuinely believable reasons for like why they've acted this way.
Okay.
And also they've never done something so anime. You know, like so ridiculously anime. Yeah. Like the thing they did was, oh, you know what? That's quite rude, or like that's quite bad, or they shouldn't have done that. Or a normal person wouldn't usually do this. But then they explain, like, oh, actually, yeah, I can see that. I can see the conversation going that way because of this. Blah 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 blah. But yeah, I just wanted to shout this show out. It's great. It's so good. You might like it. I think it's not too heavy on the romance, but like there's like a bit of it in there. But just in terms of writing and characters, so good. Can't sing its praises enough.
You know what else you said?
What else did I say?
You were saying that you had a look at next season, and you were like, "There's no like real like flagship."
Did you
shows
have a look as well?
That aren't sequels.
There's a fair few sequels.
Yeah. I had a look and I agreed, except for one. I think there is a flagship.
What is it?
Show? I don't remember what it's called. It's about the old guy smoking out front of the convenience store.
Oh yeah, isn't that already coming out? I'm pretty sure it's already out.
Is it?
Yeah,
you said it's coming next season.
Well, I think there's like 2 episodes out. Maybe it was
maybe
it's pre-release. Yeah. Maybe it's pre-release.
I think that's still
similar to
Ramparts
of Ice. Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. I know the show because I've seen it on Twitter, like non-stop.
Yeah, I feel like you see it around all the time. I think I've read the first couple chapters, deciding whether I'm going to read it or not. But like I know that's one of those. I think that's one of those big ones.
I think it'll be popular, but I don't think it's anywhere near the big ones of this season. Like I don't think it's going to be anywhere near as big as Witch Hat or Akane or Dungeons. Demons, sorry.
Well, yeah, maybe.
Because I don't know. It's just a feeling I have. I have a feeling that it'll be popular, but it won't blow up. That's my guess. I could be wrong. I'm happy for them to be more popular than I think it is.
I feel like people already just absolutely love the manga.
Yeah.
I feel like whenever there's like that big talk around the manga, usually the anime pops off. But
yeah,
I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I hope they do well. But yeah, I said that because I was thinking about the idea for
No, yeah, I know.
what
yeah.
we would do, next. I don't know if you're still down for
Yeah.
for that. I was also thinking like, oh, maybe we pick like 3 shows.
We should maybe pick, we could pick like 3 shows, but almost like for different reasons. As in, like, I think it would be fun to suggest a show that it's like, all right, well, this is just a good show I think you'll like.
Yeah.
And then maybe it would be fun to kind of suggest a show that, like, maybe you liked a long time ago that you haven't rewatched.
Yeah.
Like, that would just be funny. If, like, I was like, I loved this show as a teenager, haven't watched it since, so I couldn't tell you whether it holds up.
If I recommended you shows of like, you know, like that entry point anime, so I watch so much garbage that like if I made you watch something there, it'd be so funny.
But
because I wouldn't even remember.
I had this thought because I went and had a look at my anime list. And it had all of the shows. I used to log every show that I watched and I would give it a score.
Yeah.
And so it would just be funny for me to give you like
a 10.
I gave this a 10. But as like a 16-year-old or something like that. And then to hear about it each week being this is not a 10.
I'm gonna make you watch Infinite Stratos. I don't know if you've ever heard that, but it was like the first time I think I thought it was going to be like Gundam because there were like mechs in it. Right. But it turned out to be the very first harem I ever watched. And I was like, where are these girls coming from? Like, why do they like him? And like more and more episodes came. I'm like, where's this 5th girl come from? Like, and also, how are they all mech drivers? Like, it's like
speaking of, on that note though, harem, but like just that weird kind of mech. I have never understood how people go on about Darling in the Franxx as if it is
like a masterpiece,
as if it is good.
I think it's because you hate it. You hate it so much. I think it got a lot of hype because of that main girl, like the girl as like just as like the mascot of the show, and also it got lots of comparisons to Eva for like mirroring the some parts of the concept. I mean, it's been a while since I watched Eva. I know like what happens in Eva, but like for what because I never watched Darling in the Franxx. I think.
Oh, you haven't?
Nah, I looked at it and I thought, no, I don't watch mechs that aren't Gundam.
It is.
Sorry,
it is.
Just don't.
It is.
Well, rarely.
I feel like it's like people just recommend that show. They're like, I don't know. They have her as their profile picture and whatever, and they recommend that show. To me, that show is like sunken rock level. You should explain yourself when you recommend that one. Because they practically have to like do each other to like activate this mech and stuff. And I really believe that's whatever, like fine if that's what the author wants to explore, but at least back it up with some good story. And I just feel like it just exists just for that purpose. And this story is like, to be fair, I read the manga and I don't think has an official translation, and it has like a fan translation, and it's very bad, and it's very confusing due to the translation. But I don't know. I'm sure that lets it down, but still.
Yeah. I'm surprised you read the manga. That's crazy. I looked at that and I just thought it's getting hype, and like the girl was super popular, but I thought like this is not the same reason that the Kill la Kill girl got popular. This is just popular because the girl's like attractive to like people on the internet.
Yeah, and also the main character has to like bend her over every second episode, like literally to activate his Gundam, and then they have to like literally like lock in to each other, and it's like this whole to like have the spiritual, and it's not even like they're not even pretending. The story is that they have to be like hormonal teenagers. Because they have the right kind of hormones to like connect to each other, and they need to be like angsty and over each other.
Okay, so this is why it's getting the Eva comps, because that's literally Eva.
Is it? I've actually never watched.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. This is like a huge confession.
The one anime fan has never watched any.
So like a huge part of Eva, and it's not like about being. I mean, you can argue it is, but like a lot of like the background context of why the story of what Eva was written was because it's kind of about the angst of like this character that's growing up and has these problems with his dad, and the world kind of being like a metaphor for like all that kind of stuff about angst and growing up and being a teenager and not knowing who you are and understanding where your place in the world and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And like the different characters that he meets kind of also embody certain different. I don't want to get into the philosophy of Eva because for the most part I didn't get it. I didn't get it, and when people explain it to me, I accept it. I'm like, okay, that's cool because I'm not gonna go rewatch it. I know it's good and I know people love it, but like for me, Eva wasn't Samurai Champloo for me. Like Samurai Champloo was something I could watch again. Same with Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop was a show I could watch again because there were enjoyable parts about it, whereas Eva wasn't. I'm sorry to say, it just wasn't enjoyable to watch unless you like the mech fighting, but it's not Gundam.
Just watch Gundam.
Yeah, it's not Gundam. Yeah, I am probably one of the few like anime old school people that won't grill you about not watching Eva. I could not care less that you haven't watched it. Or any of the big ones from back then, like Cowboy Bebop or
it is
Samurai Champloo.
Surprising that I haven't watched it because when I got into anime, I was like ripe age and very angsty and would have gotten really into the philosophy. And
again, I watched it when I was a teenager and I thought, like, whatever.
But I considered myself to be extremely deep at that age, and so I think it would have suited well. But I don't think I was into the robots. I wasn't into Gundam, and it just like didn't appeal to me.
Yeah, Gundam's so cool, man.
Gundam's cool, but it's such a political show. Like the depends which Gundam we're talking about.
Which Gundams have you watched?
I had a look the other day. I was randomly looking through one of my old like tracking. I used to track everything that I watched, and
I never did that.
I got really far into the original.
Oh, really?
Series.
Yeah.
Like way further than I thought because I remember nothing about it.
Yeah, I watched the original as well. I watched Wing. And then the Gundam I fell in love with and have rewatched a couple of times is 00. Gundam 00. I think I mentioned this on our like, was it the hobby one where like I said where I got into anime properly?
Yeah.
It was Gundam 00. I think was the anime that was airing on that TV channel that I saw a glimpse of. And I was like, oh yeah, Gundam. I know what Gundam is. And I watched it. So I was like, this is so sick. And I was like, I need to. And I've watched Gundam 00 like multiple times. And I thought the characters in that show, I think, haven't really been surpassed in like how cool they are. I also watched Gundam Seed. And then from the newest ones, I watched Unicron.
Did you watch The Witch of
Nah, The Witch from Mercury. I haven't watched that.
I watched some of that. I was watching that week by week as it came out, and then I kind of fell off. But I remember actually enjoying that one.
Yeah, I find that now for a Gundam, for me to know that I'm going to watch the Gundam all the way through, it has to be kind of slightly more adult centric and political now. I think back then I didn't mind it with kids, but now I'm like, I kind of need it to be less. Like with Witch from Mercury and even Unicron to a point, I see the child with the colorful hair and I go, it's not what Seed and 00 were like. Because Seed and 00 and even the original with I can't remember his name. Amuro. He was just a kid with brown hair. Like, keep it like that, bro. I want my anime Gundam fighter to be white with brown hair.
I feel like it's just the original. It's just like it's this big political drama.
Yeah,
and it's just a bit. Like
it's heavy, but I think when I was watching it as a kid, like properly kid, before I was into anime, I watched it for just the Gundam fights.
Yeah.
So like whenever they were talking about like when generals are talking on the bridges of ships and stuff, right over my head. I didn't care about it.
Yeah.
But now I'm like a little bit more into it. Another amazing, I mean, if you're not into this political stuff, I might be recommending this to you as like absolutely nothing, but an amazingly good political army type show is Legend of Galactic Heroes.
Yeah, well, I know of it.
Yeah, I think it's like generally regarded as one of the greatest to be made. It got a remake recently and it's still like somewhat recent.
Yeah.
Where the animation's like obviously new, but the story is from a novel, I think.
Right. Yeah.
It's great. It's great political drama.
I just can't with those
Yeah.
political ones and even war stuff in general. I don't particularly enjoy war. I mean, it's kind of unavoidable in fiction. Like there's always going to be.
Yeah.
But when it's really just like war centric and political. And
So you're saying in your novel you're not going to put a war in? Spoilers. Spoilers.
No, I literally have been thinking about how to avoid.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm like, I just don't want it to be about that.
It's funny that you're like, I have to avoid. You haven't have written this right. How do I avoid a war in this fantasy world?
I mean, it's
inevitable.
Hard, right?
It's inevitable.
It kind of is though, right?
As soon as chapter 1. The first rule of this world, God said no wars. And if I was going to write a novel, I would write about Michael and Lucifer as
the glove.
and the mysterious glove, and how the twin brothers trained up together to become archangels. It'd be so cool and epic.
Yeah, very, very cool.
Much, yeah.
Okay.
And on that note, like we had a good chat. Good chat. Great story ideas between the two of us.
Yeah.
Okay. Hope you guys enjoyed watching and listening. What did we talk about today? All sorts of things. All
kinds of stuff.
Maybe chat to us in the comments about what topics get recommended to you in the YouTube algorithm. It could be completely different because I know it's different for us. I didn't ever mention what mine were, but that'll stay a mystery forever and ever and ever. Okay, so thanks guys. Goodbye.